Hello and welcome back to Compendium Trivia, your one-stop shop for fascinating facts from the world of history and geography. Today, we're heading to Iran. But not modern-day Ayatollah-ruled, rockets flying Iran. We're talking ancient Persia, as Iran was known back then, and its glorious imperial past. We will be visiting Naqsh-e Rostam, where tombs of mighty Persian emperors are located. It's a royal necropolis sculpted into stone, and perhaps the set for the next Tomb Raider sequel. Put your adventure hat on and let's start our expedition. 12 kilometers from Persepolis, Persia's former capital, 4 giant tombs stare down from the cliff. They belong to kings from the Achaemenid dynasty, Persia's first great empire. They ruled from about 550 to 330 BCE and stretched from Greece and Egypt all the way down to India. They were kind of a big deal in their era. According to some sources, at its height, the Persian Empire controlled around 50 million people, about 45% of the global population at that time. Never again in history has one empire controlled such a large portion of the world's population. The tombs are cross-shaped, about 20 meters high and 10 meters wide, and richly decorated. At the top of each is a winged disc, a symbol of the Zoroastrian religion followed by Persians at the time. Below that is a depiction of the king praying before a fire altar. This element was essential to Zoroastrian rituals, and fire was kept burning continuously in Persian temples, sometimes for centuries without a break. You'll also see rows of figures carrying tribute, each representing different nations conquered by the Persians. From their clothing and labels, we can identify Egyptians, Indians and other nations, a proof that ancient Persia was the world's first truly global empire, connecting people long before Nokia did. In the middle of each tomb is an entrance flanked by columns. The inside of the tombs is surprisingly plain and small, with simple rock-cut sarcophagi, likely for the king and his family. Nothing from the interior has survived until our times. The tombs were robbed centuries ago, probably shortly after the collapse of the Persian Empire. Apparently, the grave robbers never got the memo about the rest in peace policy. Now let's meet the VIPs buried in these majestic cliffside condos. Starting with Darius the Great, the empire builder with an impressive beard. He expanded borders of his state in all directions. Although he lost the Battle of Marathon in 490 BCE to the Greeks, he definitely had a better success rate than most guys on Tinder. Up next, Darius's son, Xerxes I. Famous for destroying Athens in 480 BCE and winning at Thermopylae. Yep, he was the guy from the movie 300, except real Xerxes didn't use as much eyeliner as his Hollywood version. He was also a bit of a resentful cuckoo, as he ordered 300 lashes to be given to the Mediterranean Sea for destroying the bridge he built. Next one, Artaxerxes I. Though he ruled for over 40 years, he wasn't into invading Greece, so he missed his train to fame. And finally Darius II came to power after fighting off his brothers, who didn't come out of the family quarrel alive. After that, he ruled without the drama of his predecessors but kept the empire ticking. Interestingly, not all Achaemenid rulers are buried in Naqsh-e Rostam. Some reigned too briefly, died suddenly, or they simply ran out of cliff space. Even in the good old times the real estate market was quite competitive. The Achaemenid tombs are not the only attraction in this area. There is also Kaaba-yi-Zartasht, a mysterious cube-shaped structure. Based on its design, it was constructed sometime in the first half of the 6th century BCE, so it is actually predating the royal tombs. There is no agreement on what the purpose of this structure was. Theories include fire temple, archive, or royal tomb. Scholars still argue, but one thing's for sure, It's too small to be a guest house for tourists. We can also see Darius the First's famous inscription. Sculpted in stone in 3 languages, it's a record of Darius's conquests and achievements. This is how you showed off 2,500 years ago before the Instagram was invented. After the last Achaemenid king was buried, Naqsh-e Rostam was left alone for hundreds of years. However, it got a second life under the Sassanian dynasty, which ruled Iran between the 3rd and 7th centuries CE, and brought back the empire to its former glory. Their kings left carved reliefs showing their triumphs, especially over the Roman Empire, their arch-rivals in Western Asia. The most iconic relief shows King Shapur I on horseback with 2 Roman emperors he defeated. Emperor Valerian is kneeling in submission and Philip the Arab is holding Shapur's reins like a squire. Persia 1, Rome 0. These reliefs suggests the Sassanid intention to link themselves with the glory of the earlier Achaemenid Empire as their proud successors. After the Muslim conquest of Persia in the 7th century, and the fall of the Sassanid dynasty, Naqsh-e Rostam faded into obscurity. The tombs weren't reused but weren't destroyed either, likely out of cultural respect. Once again, the site stood untouched for more than 1,000 years, like an ancient time capsule from a different era. There is one other Persian royal tomb nearby that definitely deserves a mention. Located around 70 kilometers away, stands the tomb of the very first Persian emperor, Cyrus the Great. He was Darius' great-uncle, or whatever you call such a distant family relationship. Unlike the cliff tombs at Naqsh-e Rostam, Cyrus's tomb is a standalone stone monument that resembles a stepped house with a gabled roof, simple, elegant, and majestic. It's about 11 meters tall and made of massive limestone blocks. It's said to be the oldest base-isolated structure in the world, giving it proven resilience against earthquakes, which are a common occurrence in Iran. Unfortunately, it was also robbed in antiquity and nothing from its interior has survived. There's definitely a pattern with Persian kings' resting places: luxury architecture but poor home security. Cyrus was widely respected in the ancient world not only for his military conquests but also for his justice and generosity. It is said that when Alexander the Great visited his tomb, he got emotional and shed a tear for the famous king. Sometimes, even a strong man may experience a vulnerable moment, and that's okay. Also, considering current tensions between Israel and Iran, it's a bit ironic that Persian Cyrus did a lot of good for the Jewish people. He ended their biblical Babylonian captivity and allowed them to return to their promised land and rebuild the Temple of Solomon, Israel's most sacred site. The Bible says he was chosen by God specifically for this task, as his Messiah. Cyrus is the only non-Jewish figure to be revered this way in Jewish tradition. Hopefully one day Persian-Israeli relations return to those good old days of camaraderie. Today, Naqsh-e Rostam and Cyrus's tomb are protected heritage sites and popular tourist destinations. You can walk right up to these eternal monuments and ponder the intriguing history of Persian civilization. Or perhaps just wonder how the ancient builders did it all without YouTube tutorials and a Home Depot store down the road. For modern Iranians, these tombs are a source of national pride. They link Iran's glorious past with its present identity. In a world of short attention and fast-passing trends, these majestic structures prove that some things are truly carved in stone and can stand for millennia. Thanks for watching this episode of Compendium Trivia. We hope you enjoyed our journey to fascinating Iran. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn the notification bell on. Tell us in a comment what your tomb inscription would say. We've got more mysteries from around the world coming soon. Let us know which one would you like us to cover next.